I'm going to be using Aunt Lydia's Fashion 3 crochet thread today. And this color is called Warm Teal. I haven't used this yet, so we'll see how it turns out here in just a little bit. Also, I'm using a 4.0 G crochet hook. We'll need a little pair of scissors, a tapestry needle. To get started, we're just going to make a slip knot. And the way I do mine, I just usually come around my finger like that. And then basically, that's going to go in behind. It's going to make a loop. And you just pull up and tighten the loop like that. We're going to chain 4. To chain, you just go under your yarn and pull it through the stitch. There's 1 right under. You're just yarning over and pulling through. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're doing 7. Okay, so to get started with this first row, we're going to come over to the 4th stitch. You're going to leave 3. You do not count the stitch that's on your hook. You're going to do a double crochet. So yarn over, go into that 4th stitch, yarn over, pull your yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2 of the loops, and now yarn over and pull through the other 2 loops. All right, and we're going to do 3 more double crochets. Yarn over into the stitch, yarn over, pull up, go through 2 stitches, and go through the other 2 stitches. All right, and let's do the other 2. Okay, and this is what your first row, those 4, you've got 3 posts right there from your double crochets, and then you've got your end stitches. And you always end with a, when we get back, we're going to be ending with a half double crochet, even though in that first row, we did a regular double crochet. You're going to chain 2, yarn under, yarn over, pull through and do 2 stitches, 2 chains, then turn your work. And this time, we're going to just start your double crochet. We're going to do a front post double crochet. So what you're going to do when you yarn over to make this post kind of stick out, we're going to go behind it, but it's actually a front post. All right, double crochet. So go behind it, pick your stitch up, pull back through, yarn over, pull through 2 stitches, and then the other 2 stitches. And you can just kind of keep your work pinched with your thumb and your middle finger. That's our first one. The second stitch now we're going to do with our post, we are going to do a back post. To do a back post, you yarn over, and the back is going to push toward the back, so you have to go in behind the post like that, and then right through there to the back, pull a stitch through, and then just finish your double crochet. All right, and the third one, you have to separate here where we did the chains, and this is the double crochet. This one's going to be a front one. So you're going to yarn over, go in behind that post, yarn over, and pull through, and then you're going to come up, and you're going to go through 2, and the 2 more. There's going to be a little space left there for us to do our last stitch. So this one, we're going to just do a half double crochet. So yarn over, go through that, just go through the opening, works fine. Yarn over, pull through, and instead of going through them twice, you just pull all the way through to do a half double crochet. Now, this is what you've got so far. Okay, now we're going to chain 2 at each end. From now on, you chain 2. You turn, and I heard someone on a video the other day say, just turn it like you're turning a page of a book. And I thought that was a great way to explain that. Just turn it over. Then we're going to do, again, a front post. So we'll go behind it to make the front post, make that post come toward the front. Yarn over, come through, back up, go through 2 and 2 more. Okay, then we have this middle one. This time we want to push it toward the back. So we're going to do a back post, double crochet. Yarn over, and we're going to go in behind, right like that. Go around that post, go back to the back, yarn over, and pull up. And then just finish your double crochet like you would normally. Go through 2, go through 2. All right, then you've got one more post down here at the end, right here. And you just have to pull that apart a little bit to where you can see what you're doing. And we're going to do front posts. So you yarn over, and to make the front push toward the front of your work, you go behind it, and then yarn over and come up and finish your double crochet. Now, at the end, always do a half double crochet. Yarn over, you go through, I just go through the loop, okay? And it works good. Okay, yarn over, and then yarn over and pull through all of the 3 loops. Now, this is what it's looking like. And to me, it's kind of making sort of a, little square pattern like ropes. And I'll show you on one of these others. You see the stitch as you work? That's what it's going to look like. So what you do, you just do this same thing. Like I said, all the way through. The last thing we did there was our half double crochet. You chain 2 at the end. Every time you get to the end, chain 2. And then, as you start back, you're going to do a front double crochet post. And then you're going to do a back one. So when you do the back one, just remember to push it back. That's the way you need to think about it. You're pushing it back when you're doing the back one. So you've got to come around the front of it, and then go through and pick that up from the back and finish your stitch. And then a front one. Again, just you're pushing it toward the front. Make sure you open this up right here where you can see the post and the 2 chains. Well, actually, the chains there. Okay, so go ahead and you'll do a front one and finish it up, and then a half double crochet. So by doing the half double crochet at the end, and then when you start the 2 chains, then that keeps it all even like that. Okay, so we just continue. Okay, like that. And that's the whole pattern. Just the first one's a front post, double crochet. The second one's a back post one. Then you do another front post double crochet. And at the very end, you separate. Just make sure you keep that separated, and that'll keep your side straight. Do a half double crochet. Chain 2 and continue. And as I said, just turn it over, and that's what it'll look like. All right, and then you just crochet until you get it the size you want it to go around your wrist. Now you can make them tighter, or if you want them looser, like this one's looser on me. This one, we'll measure it so that you can see the exact size of this one. And that one there is 6, so that's 12 all the way around. But if you want them smaller, you just stop. And then at the end, we're going to put on the end part, and all you have to do is clamp this little thing on, and I'll show you that in just a minute. And you will need one of those. but they're easy, very easy to do. So you keep going until you get the length that you want for your wristlet. And then I'll be back and we will do the last parts of this. When you get your measurement as long as you want it to go around your wrist, you can either leave the edges like they are, if you like that effect, which looks nice, or we can go around them and just put a single crochet in the spaces. So to start off with, I would crochet 1 chain, and then I'm going to put a single crochet, and in the wider areas I usually put 2, and then I put 1, and I just kind of spread them out to where it looks nice. And then the next one I'm going to put 2, and of course to do the single crochet, you go through, yarn over, pull your loop up, and then yarn over and pull through. Okay, now that one's a small one. I'm just going to put 1 in it. And you can just use your judgment as you go down through the side. You just want it to lay flat. So, like you can see here, this one, it might need 2 single crochets. And then this one 1. Okay, and then 2 in this one. And you can look at it, and like I said, you just want it to lay flat. You don't want it to be puckery. If it's pulling too tight, that means you might need to put more in, and it depends sometimes on the tension that you have crocheted. Okay, so let's go down to the corner, and I'll meet you back when you get down there, and we'll go around the corner, and I'll tell you how to go across the end and continue the other side. When you get down to the end, I'm going to put 2 right here, 2 single crochets, and then I'm going to chain 1. Then we'll turn the corner, and I'm going to put 2 single crochets, and the next one I'll put 1, and then the next one I will put 2, the spaces there. I just go into the spaces. Okay, then I'm going to chain 1, and we're going to start down the other side. And if you're at the tail at that end, we're going to leave it to use to tie this or sew this together. So let's see where I'm at here. Okay, so I have my chain 1, and like I said, I'm going to go into this next stitch, and I'm going to put 2 single crochets. Next one, I'll just do 1, and then 2. And that works pretty well as you go down the side. This is that other side, that the one that I just came up through, and that's kind of what it should look like. And when we get done, these 2 ends, we don't have to be that careful with those, because we're going to hook our wristlet into this little clamp here to hold it, and then have the key ring on it. I'll meet you back when you get all the way back around to where we started doing the single crochets. I'm back around to the end, and I'm just going to slip stitch right here somewhere at the end in the corner, and then I'll leave a little tail at the end, and then I need to do a chain and pull through, so that will hold. Then I'm going to fold these 2 together. Make sure that you're stitching that the right side is there on the edges. Now this is going to look opposite a little bit, because I'm not going to do the right sides together. And most of the time you would think, well, I'd put the right sides together. But for this, we don't need to, because I'm going to stitch these 2 ends together. So I'm going to get a tapestry needle. and you'll see in just a second. So I'm just going to go through the loops here. And this will be hid, so we don't have to worry as much about this as, you know, sometimes when it's going to be seen. Okay. So we'll just go through and go across it. And I do this to make it a little bit more secure before we put the end on it. A little clamp at the end of it. So I'll just do this. And I'm a big believer when I can tie a knot, I do. So when you get to the other thread, just go ahead and just tie a knot. I'll do that. I think I'll do that a third time. Okay. Now, probably I'm just going to take these two and I'm going to run it back through the end just a little bit. This won't show, but we don't want it to come out somewhere and show. So all I'm going to do is just go through this right in the end of it and just pull it back through. And then I'm going to trim it off right there. Okay, and so it's going to look like this. Now, the reason that I didn't put it face to face is I'm going to put this on right here. So all that will be hid, and I think it will lay better that you didn't turn it because it's going to hide all of it anyway. So even though that sounded backwards, it works just fine for this. Then I have a tool that, well, you can put it in the tool to start with, just however you want to do it. Just make sure you get it in good and get it as even as you can, and then you clamp down. Now, I'm going to mash it a little bit more. Okay, so it should be real sturdy now, and you just want to make sure everything looks even, and that's what it's going to look like. And then you decide it whatever length that you wanted it. So right there it is, and it's all finished. Let me mention this. I got from Amazon these ends to put on the end of your wristlet, and it actually came with the plier part. And I did not get this container. This was in a plastic bag, and these are 1 1/4 inches this way. Okay, and they're like, I got them at Amazon, so they're easy to find. So that completes your pretty little wristlet, and they are so handy to use. And one of my friends that I gave one to, she said that she liked it so well too because when she reached down in her pocketbook, she could find her keys very easily. Hope you've enjoyed this. Join me again on Crissy Crochet.